So yeah, I watched this movie named Trolls World Tour. And I'm here to talk about it. So this is the sequel to the 2016 movie called Trolls, which are about the troll dolls and stuff. So more than likely, if you have kids that were at a younger age or at a young age now still, you probably seen the first one. And by now, you've probably seen the second one. So, with that said, let's get right into it. So, this movie is starring Anna Kendrick, Justin Timberlake, and Rachel Bloom. And it's about Poppy, who is learning her place as queen and trying to keep everything, copacetic and happy. And just trying to be the best queen that she can be. Until she finds out about this troll named Barb, who's trying to do the whole Thanos thing and collect these magical strings to turn every troll land's music into rock and roll, one nation under rock. And she and some other trolls have to try and stop Barb's plan from happening. And so this was like a movie I wasn't too excited on getting into. This is a movie that I would watch, but I would do it with my son, because he likes these movies and stuff. So this is a movie just, for him. But this wasn't a movie that's really gonna stand out to me. I'm probably gonna forget about it within a few weeks. Poppy is like very oblivious to everything that's happening. All she thinks about is just making things happy, and everything that is real world to her is out of far reach, and she's very oblivious to Barb's plans. At first she thinks that, she wants to connect all the other lands that trolls live in all together and, be a big old one nation. But that's not really Barb's plan, and as we find out within the movie. And she's very naive to just everything that's happening. Everybody just trying to tell her, and it's not getting through to her. She just really wants to see the good and everything. And one thing that you'll notice about this movie is that it does have a parallel to Frozen 2. If you've seen it, which more than likely, if you're listening to this review, you probably have kids and they've seen Frozen 2 already. It has a parallel to where you have a character who's trying to tell the main character something, and they just can't get that chance because something ends up happening. They end up getting cut off. And all throughout the movie, they're just constantly just trying to do this, and they have that storyline, which in this case is Justin Timberlake's character, Branch, who's trying to tell Poppy, something, and he's really not getting a chance. And the animation looks really good on here. That's one thing that I did like about the first Trolls movie, that I thought that they just, couldn't help but to carry on with this one. This looks like it's getting up to the grade of kind of like Pixar, but just not quite there yet. And one of the other things that I can appreciate about this movie is that it expands on just what the first one built, from just there's more worlds, or, basically more lands that have different type of trolls, and they have a different type of culture and stuff, just like how it is in reality, in real life and all that stuff. And it explores it, and that's really just kind of like the basis of the adventure that's set on in this movie, is them going to the different troll nations and seeing like all the differences from there, what they, celebrate and all that stuff, and how they work on a regular basis. And that's just something that you see up in the trailer, so that's not anything too spoilerish. When it comes to this movie, overall, this is a kid's movie. It is. I can't really see an adult sitting here and really enjoying this, unless this is your flavor, which I have a friend, and she loves these movies. She is a kid at heart, and she loves these movies, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not my flavor. This is a movie that my son, he said he likes. I didn't really care for. And, like I said, this is just for, really for kids. Has a lot of colorful things in the movie. That way it'll keep their attention, as well as it's fast paced. There's really no slow down period. It's constantly fast paced. And as far as the music, it may end up getting to some people because it's constantly, and it might be obsessive and all that stuff. Way they do the music, but to me, I just tuned it out when it came on, because I honestly couldn't even tell you one song. Well, I couldn't tell you two songs because they got one in the trailer, but I couldn't tell you another song that was actually played in the movie that I can remember. This movie is full of predictability. There's one thing that happens in this movie that it shows you an image of something, and you kind of like, if you pay attention to it, you can kind of guess where the movie is going from that point on. As far as the villain, played by Rachel Bloom, named Barb, really not too much in the movie. She doesn't really have too much of a presence. She's just there. She pops up every now and then, and she's not really much of a villain. I mean, she's forgettable. The movie is really just about Poppy and just her trying to fit in, becoming queen, and being the best queen that she can be. And she just going about doing that, and all these other things just happen. And there is another troll that has his own adventure that really doesn't bring too much to the plot. It just happens. As far as this movie, for me, as a movie, it is completely a miss. There is just really nothing to gain from this movie unless you're a kid or unless you like these movies. And therefore, I would say it is a hit for kids. So it gets 2 ratings. It's a miss as a movie for me, but it is a hit that if you have kids, this more than likely might be a movie that you're going to probably have to keep rewritten, because they're going to constantly want to see this movie, constantly want to see this movie. And when it comes out for digital release or Blu-ray or whatever, you're more than likely going to have to buy it. But yeah, as far as a movie, I didn't care too much for it. It's there, it happens, that's it.